Hi, I'm Michi, and welcome to Daily Reflections. Have you ever experienced that moment when you went into the shower, you relaxed, you try to shut down, you try to get some distance from that immensely hard thing you tried to solve, and out of a sudden, boom, you have the solution, it just comes to mind? Well, I have that regularly, and I have my own way on how to emulate that without having to taking that shower. So this story, I think it has been told a thousand of times. People report about it, and it doesn't. It's not limited to, a said, taking a shower. What basically happens is that this sort of a mental background processing. So you're not actively, consciously thinking about that issue anymore. And now your brain is still processing all that information and connecting ideas, connecting thoughts, facts in different ways than you can actively. And also, it's sort of the not seeing the forest because of focusing on the tree anymore kind of thing. And the beauty about it is that you can actually simulate this kind of situation. You can recreate it. And then there's another thing that happens or can happen that, in comparison or in contrast to that background processing, you can also just focus on other stuff, think about other stuff that triggers different other thoughts and connects the ideas and thoughts you already have related to that initial issue in a different way and might get you to the solution faster. So, how do you or how do I recreate those situations? There are plenty of things you can do, and what I do is taking deliberate breaks. I know it sounds super easy, and it's very hard to do in a moment because you have that timeline, you have that pressure, you want to move on, you want to get going because you have so many other things to do. So in this situation, it's really hard to take a deliberate break, but sometimes, or most of the time, that's exactly which what will help you to get there. So I want you to remember that. And how I do it is, and that's a very socially acceptable thing to do, is I would go prepare myself a tea or a coffee, and ideally I'd go outside. It takes 10-20 minutes, especially if it's warm outside. It's summertime, and I'd go to the park and watch people going about their business, doing what they do, thinking about, like, actively observing them and looking at them, or watching children playing at the playground. And by that, I'm distancing myself, my cognitive processes from what I was thinking before, and I'm freeing up my mind. I'm activating that background processing, and also it emotionally and mentally, it makes me lighter. And then there are other things that I can do, and most of the time do, to actively do something different, something else. And that could be manual work. I totally love woodwork, and so I'd go and build something. Or, I'm a big reader, so I'd just pick up a book, maybe a magazine, to just get my thinking to somewhere else, to think about something else. And Then there are other things I do, like, I don't know, drawing or just doing something else. And that usually creates that situation where out of a sudden I'm doing that for 10, 20 minutes, half an hour, especially if it's like woodwork. And again, this boom happens. I get the solution, and at that point, I get back to work and work on that thing. Now I have my solution and can move on. And it's so much more effective and efficient than just staying with it, struggling with it for eventually hours. And that's the main benefit. But what we have to realize is, I want to repeat those 2 points once more. We have to consciously, actively do it. And we have to remember that it's a very hard thing to do. It doesn't come easy. It requires some practice, and you gotta be okay with actively doing nothing or something else than you're kind of supposed to do in that moment. But once you're okay with that, it opens up so many opportunities, and it makes it just your life so much easier and your process so much faster. All right. At that point, when you're stuck in a situation with an issue that you're not able to solve, what do you do to distance yourself from that, to like fade out, to do something else, to open up your unknown mental capacities? That's it. Was my pleasure. Take care.